I used to think the scratching was coming from inside the walls. Every night at exactly 2:47 a.m., it would start, slow, deliberate, like fingernails dragging across wood. Not rats, not pipes. This had rhythm. 3 scratches. Pause. 3 scratches. Pause. The first few nights, I convinced myself it was the house settling. By the 7th night, I was sitting upright in bed, staring at the wall across from me, waiting for it to begin. And when it did, it wasn't inside the wall anymore. It was coming from the other side of my bedroom door. 3 scratches. Pause. 3 scratches. My throat went dry. I live alone. There shouldn't have been anyone outside my door. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. The scratching continued for nearly a minute, then stopped. Silence flooded the hallway. I waited another 5 minutes before forcing myself out of bed. Every step toward the door felt like walking into deep water. I pressed my ear against it. Nothing. Slowly, I opened it. The hallway was empty. The front door was locked. The windows sealed. No sign of forced entry. But on the wood of my bedroom door, about waist height, were 3 long marks carved straight through the paint. The next morning, I examined them in daylight. They were too deep to be accidental. The wood had splintered outward, as if something sharp had dragged from left to right. I ran my fingers over the grooves and felt a strange vibration under my skin, like static electricity. That night, I stayed awake with the lights on. 2:47 a.m. came. The scratching started again, but this time, it wasn't at the door. It was behind me, on the headboard. 3 scratches. Pause. 3 scratches. I spun around, heart hammering, but saw nothing. Yet I heard it clearly, inches from my ear. The sound sank into the wood, into the air, into my bones. I grabbed my phone to record it, but when I pressed play afterward, the audio was silent. No scratching. Just my breathing, shallow and terrified. By the 3rd night, the pattern changed. 3 scratches on the wall. Pause. 3 scratches on the ceiling. Pause. Then 3 scratches directly under my bed. That was the first time I didn't look. I couldn't. I sat frozen, staring at the far wall while the sound dragged slowly beneath me, like something mapping the shape of my body from below. When it stopped, I stayed awake until sunrise. I told myself I was imagining it. Stress. Lack of sleep. But the scratches were real. They were multiplying. Thin, deliberate lines along the walls, across the closet door, even faintly across the inside of my bathroom mirror. Always in 3s. A week later, I came home from work to find something worse. My bedroom door was closed. I always leave it open. My chest tightened as I pushed it inward. The room looked the same at first, bed made, curtains drawn. Then I saw the ceiling. Directly above my bed were 3 deep gouges carved into the plaster. They were longer than before, longer than any human arm could comfortably reach. And at the center of the room, on the floorboards, lay a thin trail of dust, as if something had been dragging itself in circles while I was gone. I checked the locks. Still secure. No broken windows. No sign of entry. But the air in the room felt used, like someone had been breathing it for hours. That night, I set up a camera. If something was in my house, I would catch it. I angled it toward the bed and left the lamp on. At 2:47 a.m., the scratching began. Loud. Close. Violent. I forced myself to stay still, pretending to sleep. 3 scratches along the wall. Pause. 3 along the ceiling. Pause. Then silence. My pulse pounded in my ears. Minutes passed. Nothing. Eventually, exhaustion pulled me under. In the morning, I grabbed the camera with shaking hands and played the footage. The video showed me lying in bed, eyes closed. At exactly 2:47 a.m., I sat upright. Slowly. Mechanically. My movements were stiff, unnatural. I turned my head toward the camera, but my eyes were open too wide. Then I lifted my hand. In my fingers was something long and thin. Metallic. A nail. I leaned toward the wall beside my bed and dragged it across the paint. 3 times. Pause. 3 times. Pause. The sound in the footage matched the scratching I'd heard. Every single mark in the room, every gouge, every splinter, was being carved by me. I dropped the camera. I don't sleepwalk. I never have. But the footage continued. After carving the wall, I climbed off the bed and crouched low to the ground. My spine bent too far forward. My head tilted sharply to one side. I began crawling, slow circles around the room, dragging the nail across the floorboards as I moved. When I passed in front of the mirror, the reflection lagged half a second behind me. In the video, I paused in front of it, smiled, and whispered something. The camera's microphone caught it faintly. It's almost finished. Then I stood upright and walked back to bed. At 2:59 a.m., I lay down and closed my eyes. At 7 a.m., I woke up normally. I didn't sleep the next night. I couldn't. I sat in the living room with every light on, the nail from the footage locked inside a kitchen drawer. 2:47 a.m. came. Silence. I felt relief creep into my chest. Maybe it was stress. Maybe it was some twisted episode. Then I heard it. Not scratching. Tapping. From inside the drawer. 3 taps. Pause. 3 taps. My blood ran cold. I backed away slowly. The drawer handle began to rattle. Gently at first. Then harder. The wood splintered outward as if something inside was trying to claw its way free. I ran. Out the front door. Into the street. I didn't look back. I've been staying at a motel ever since. I thought distance would stop it. But last night at 2:47 a.m., the scratching started again. Not on the walls. Not on the door. Directly under my skin. 3 slow lines burning across my back. Pause. 3 more. I locked myself in the bathroom and turned on the light. In the mirror, I saw them. Fresh red marks rising through my skin as if carved from the inside. I don't think something is in my house anymore. I think it was never in the walls. It was never under the bed. It was never in the drawer. It was practicing, learning the pattern, teaching my body the rhythm. 3 scratches. Pause. 3 scratches. And tonight, when 2:47 a.m. comes, I'm afraid I won't just be holding the nail. I'm afraid I'll finally understand what the pattern is finishing.